HarperCollins presents Notes to John by Joan Didion, read by Julianne Moore.
Shortly after Joan Didion died in 2021, a collection of about 150 unnumbered pages was found in a small, portable file near her desk. She kept an assortment of things in the file. The doorman's notes from the night in 2003 that her husband, John Gregory Dunne, died, a copy of the speech she gave at her daughter Quintana's wedding, reservation records from the Hotel Bristol in Paris, a list of guests at Christmas parties, computer passwords. The pages make up a sort of a journal in which Didion reported on sessions with a psychiatrist, most of them in 2000. The reports are addressed to John. He is the you in the manuscript. The 150 pages seem to have survived only in this one copy, which is now in the Didion Dunne archive at the New York Public Library. The archive was placed in the library by Didion's heirs, her late brother's children. No restrictions were put on access. Didion started seeing the psychiatrist Roger McKinnon on November 15th, 1999. She had 6 sessions with him, and then began writing the reports to John. They are her thoughts and reflections about the sessions, which separately involved other eminent psychiatrists. The journal ends a little more than a year after therapy began. It includes an account of a session with McKinnon that John participated in on June 7th, 2000. So one can assume that the reports were not simply for the purpose of bringing him up to speed. He didn't need to be informed about what was discussed that day. He was there. Some of the subjects in the journal appear in Blue Nights, the last book Didion wrote, which was a meditation on her daughter's life. Didion had started seeing McKinnon because Quintana had told her own psychiatrist that her mother was depressed and should talk to someone. He felt that the mother-daughter relationship was at the core of Quintana's problems, which he was not having much success resolving. He and McKinnon collaborated. As their therapy sessions went on, McKinnon led Didion into thoughts about her relationship to her own parents, aging, fear of others, the importance of work. There is a letter in Didion's computer from March 2001 to an old friend in California in which she describes the recent rough few years with Quintana. Even I have been seeing a psychiatrist, she writes, which has been an extraordinary experience and has made me a good deal more open than I think I have ever been. Notes to John. December 29th, 1999. Ray not taking Zoloft. I said it made me feel, for about an hour after taking it, that I'd lost my organizing principle, rather like having a planter's punch before lunch in the tropics. I said I tried to think this through, because I knew rationally it couldn't be true, since the PDR said even twice that dose doesn't reach any effect for several hours, and peak effect for 3 to 5 days of steady dosage. I realized that I had a very closely calibrated idea of my physical well-being, very fearful of losing control, that my personality was organized around a certain level of mobilization or anxiety. I then said that I had tried to think through the anxiety I had expressed at our last meeting. I said that although it had been expressed in terms of work, the meeting in Los Angeles, etc., I realized when I discussed it with you that it was focused on Quintana. Of course it was, he said. We then talked about what my anxieties were, Ray Quintana. Basically, they were that she would become depressed to a point of danger, the shoe dropping, the call in the middle of the night, the attempt to take her emotional temperature on every phone call. I said that in some ways this seemed justified, and in other ways unfair to her, because she must be feeling our anxiety as we were feeling hers. I suspect she feels your anxiety very particularly, he said. I said apparently she did. She had not only told us she did, but had also mentioned this to Dr. Cass. It was me, and not you, she wanted to see a psychiatrist. He said he would
Sample complete. Ready to continue?